Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. This is another episode of Miserable Monday. It's actually a pretty good game, but we're going to talk Frontline on this Miserable Monday, changing it up just a little bit as opposed to looking at all my bonehead moves and mistakes. We're going to talk about bonehead moves and mistakes by Worgen. I'm just kidding. We are going to talk about some of the failings of Frontline, or at least some of the things I find interesting / annoying about the mode. A little bit of history. I played the first 2 episodes quite a bit and got up to about 4.25 or so on the prestige level. So I was prestige 4, tier 12 or some such thing. In the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I stopped playing because I'd kind of had it. It was one map. Remember, we have 2 maps now, but back then it was just the one map. And the disconnect between the win condition and the goal, win condition being stopping them from moving up the map, or if you're the attackers, destroying 3 of the 5 turrets, and the goal being ranking up in rank and getting enough prestige points or getting enough frontline points, rank points, whatever they call it, to get up another tier. There was a disconnect, and still is, between those 2 things. And the fact is, I learned a lot by playing this last episode, episode 8, very seriously, and I went from tier 4 up to tier 8. 4.25 to tier 8. But I learned a couple things along the way. In the first few episodes, I'd get general once in a while. It was usually through damage. Then I figured out pretty quickly that if I did some decapping and capping, I could get quite a bit of points to rank up. But I didn't realize really how important that could be to ranking up. And that just really illustrated, in my mind, the disconnect between the win conditions and the goal conditions, or the goal of the game. Now, on the one hand, I do understand why they do it that way to some extent, but it is a bit annoying. It is a bit annoying. So let's just get started. We'll talk about all this as we go. You can see I'm in my LT432. This has been going on for a while. Before we get started, I'm going to leave out the whole light tank, wheel tank meta for the moment. All right, let's just not... We're one problem at a time, folks. One problem at a time. Just leave that one off to the side. We may get to that. I am in my overpowered 432, so we're going to go ahead. And I learned, right, what I learned was that decapping was the way to go. And I am on defense. And I also learned that Cap B, and to some extent Cap C, but mostly Cap B, has a ridiculous position in which you can farm the living snot out of decap points. And I'm going to show you where that is. I don't think this is really news to anybody. It might be news on how effective it is. All right, so I have a tank. I have 1 tank to give, so I don't even care if I die. I just want to get to this spot and decap. I believe there's a limit to decap points, but it's quite a bit. And watch my sergeant rank level thing line. Watch this. So I get on here. It's going to be a second though. They don't come on to the cap for a little while. But I just drive right up to this spot and I hang out right here. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting on the cap. I'm not shooting anybody. I'm not making any clever power moves in the game. Let's show you what I'm doing with my turret right here, because there are some people behind me. And you can hit people where I am from over there if you're the red team, but you kind of have to push forward. You see Blacklisted Chips. He actually sent me a message after that. Is raging around over there. You can see him back there. I can't see him now because he's out of draw distance, but he's raging around over there in his Hawk 30, kind of keeping him busy for the moment. So I go to this spot. The tiger dies. Now let's just talk a little bit while we wait for these guys to come up and get a little bounce off this guy. So what I'm talking about is you can get to general without really doing much of anything but sitting on caps. And I have to say that does not really seem like the spirit of a PvP online game. So that condition is there for gaining points, and you can actually rank up very, very quickly doing that. And that's not news to anybody, but it is a little bit annoying because at the same time, the purpose is to win, or at least the stated purpose is to win, when the goal is to rank up. And those two, see how it just went up? Watch it. Click, click, click. There goes the lieutenant. Look at it just clicking up. Look how fast that's... I'm not doing anything. I'm not shooting anybody necessarily. I'm just sitting on a cap, hanging out right there. Now, other people are raging around trying to do a lot of damage, and it takes a lot longer to rank up and a lot of damage to do so. But a person who can get up on this cap and sit there, and thanks for nothing there, PR, can really rank up quick. And I think maybe I've met my limit because there's guys on the cap now, and I'm not really able to rank up anymore. So we're going to hang out here a little bit, looking for maybe a shot in just a moment. I'm getting bombarded by them with their little combat reserve things, kicking the snot out of me. And I get hammered some more, and I'm hanging out. So the purpose, like I was saying, is the goal anyway, is to rank up so you can get to Prestige 10 so you can get your tank, or Prestige X, whatever it is you're going to try to do. There I go, I die. So all I do is I simply go to the same place. Go to the same lane. I know B is still there. They haven't taken it. I'm just waiting for my chance to pick my tank. I pick my tank, I get a lance in, and here we go again. We're just going to drive forward. Notice that my next tank is in 12 seconds. So it's, again, it doesn't matter if I die. All I have to do is get on this cap, and I'm going to farm points. Now, we're going to get to the rest of this when I get up in rank, because something interesting happens once I get to general very quickly. My goal changes quite a bit compared to what the rest of the team is probably trying to do. Most everyone is still running around trying to do damage, trying to play a video game, trying to play a PvP video game. All I'm trying to do is get general and farm points, and the mechanics are there to allow me to do it, which is really my fundamental problem with Frontlines right now, is that this kind of thing is possible, and it's mech'd into the goal/win conditions of the game. So I come in here, these things blow up. I think I'm getting killed, but it's actually just guys' tanks disappearing, so the Hulk doesn't sit around forever. Now these guys are pushing in behind there, taking on my guys that are guarding. So I know I'm probably going to get shot in the back, but all I really want to have happen is to have guys like this dude drive onto the cap, so that I can start farming my points once again. Come out here, he's busy. Now I can get shots. Whenever you damage a guy on the cap, that's worth a lot. So I got the M449. I think my guy behind me actually died. Yeah, so now I'm taking shots from the links back behind me. I don't really care. I'm just gaining points. Look at that. As I'm sitting on, look at that, cranking through Captain. I've done a whole 2,522 damage. All I've done is driven onto a cap, and then I die. So there you go. Now this is the point where you have to be careful, because if you die fairly quickly, you can run out of tanks, extra tanks. And that is supposed to be the mechanic that stops this. But remember, I had them built up. I didn't show you the beginning of the game. At the beginning of the game, I was on A, and I farmed some of their guys getting on the caps, which got me to about Sergeant, which is where you saw me start. And I go back to A now, and now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to just shoot their guys that are on the cap. So let's go ahead and speed this thing up a little bit. We'll come back this way. Go up to the top, take some shots on him. And this is just the basic way you play the game, right? We drive around, we're in a tank, and we shoot people. All right, fair enough. Just come up here. I'm trying to get this stupid wheeled tank, but I can't get him. Remember, I said we were not going to leave alone the light tank and wheeled tank screed. A little shot on that guy. And we're halfway to Captain. And this game is not very long in the tooth yet. You can see that they've only managed to take one spot. Shoot him in the face. Speed this up. I actually end up dying here, I believe, in a minute because I can't handle an LT-432. I missed that guy. That's a crit damage. Oh, there's another one. And finally, I get that guy dead. Spin around here. Try to use my reserve here in a moment. I do poorly with it. I don't hit anything. That guy actually dies or doesn't take a hit. We'll swing back around this way. And now I'm trying to get shots on this guy. And now I'm kind of playing. And now I'm dead. So what do? I have a tank. Now the reason that I went over there to A was so I could spend enough time that I had an extra tank, right? So I didn't die right away. But now that they're pushing this cap, and I'm already at Captain, almost to Major, I just take a fast tank, and herp-de-derp, I just drive onto the cap. Look how many of them there are. Watch me farm these points. Okay, whatever, they're all in the cap. Now ideally they'd just come around the corner and kill me if they were smart. There's Major. Just cranking away. Shoot this guy. Always good. There you go. He might get a shot on me, but my buddy's behind him. Shoot him. He can't do anything but die. Let's see if I get him. I don't remember if I got him or not. There we go. He dies. Oh, man, what'd I do? Bounce? General. I don't know if you noticed that while I was talking and messing around. Now, I'm general. I have 4,213 damage, 1,271 assist. They've managed to take exactly 2 zones, and now I just don't care, right? It doesn't matter to me whether we defend or win. Now, if I personally would like to win, then it matters to me. But look how many more people are on this map that are trying to play this game, right? They all want to rank up. All I did was drive onto a cap and sit there. I got general, and now I don't care. I guess I'm a jerk for not caring. This guy shoots me. I don't know if I got out. I don't think I get out of here. I actually die on this cap. Yeah, I try to get away. I can't get away. And I die. Boom. Nope, coming up. It's coming up. The death is coming up. I try to make a runner right here. There we go. And I have a 3-minute wait, but I just simply don't care. In fact, the game actually goes on, I believe, because they end up taking a spot potentially. Yeah, they're going to take B because they pushed in there and got rid of me. And we'll just stop it there because you know what I do for the rest of the game? I get my EBR and I rage around and I shoot Artie. Now, if I want a bunch of extra credits and experience, then I'd go wherever they are and start fighting them. But at this point, I'd made general. But that's my problem with the disconnect on the win and the goal, right? The win being kill 3 of the 5, or on defense stop them from doing that, or even stop them from taking any spawn points. And the goal being to rank up prestige points so I can get those extra tanks. And there's no connection to them. So, all right, Guido, that's the problem. What do you fix it? How do you fix it? What's the answer to that? I think, in my opinion, that there should be a bonus in the prestige point calculation for winning. I hesitate to say that because the MO for wargaming in general, when they fix things like this, is they throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's a pretty good mode. It's got a pretty good system for rewards, but it needs to be tweaked so that Guido can't sit on the cap, do 4,000 damage, and get general early in the game, and then he doesn't care about anybody else's gameplay. Now, to some extent, I'm not blaming wargaming for that. That's not the way I operate. That was entirely my decision to go do, and anyone who's playing the game can do that all they want, right? There was nothing illegal about what I did. It was just kind of a douchey. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the way you kind of get away from that a little bit is, hey, let's make the win condition actually give you a few more of those prestige points, but not make it you have to win, right? We've had those kind of missions where there is a win condition on it. You must win to make any progress. Let's not do that, all right? Don't throw the baby out, fellas. But I think that if you win, there should be a bonus to your prestige points for winning. I think, maybe an extra rank. That might be a little crazy. Maybe a small percentage. I don't know what it would be. You may have to adjust, in my opinion, how much rank you get for cap and decap, because that's a little bit out of control. I think it's a little bit out of control. And I wondered quite a bit how it was that these really good players were getting general so many times. And when I delved into the numbers, oftentimes they had quite a bit of cap and decap. And I know you want to make it kind of centric to cap and decap because that's part of the game, but I think it's way too centric to cap and decap and should rely a little bit more on damage. So maybe shift back a little bit the cap and decap bonuses, make a bonus to your prestige leveling up for winning. And I think you kind of balance the game a little bit so that it's not so unbalanced according to win conditions and goal conditions for the game. I didn't touch on the light tank and wheel tank meta. That's maybe a video for another time. That has more to do with how the game's actually played rather than how it's designed, if you understand what I'm saying there. So I thought I'd throw that out for Miserable Monday. Well, what do you guys think? I thought it was really intriguing on this one, and this was late in my Season 8 gameplay where I figured this out, and once I figured this out, the generals and the majors started coming. But I sort of felt dirty. I was kind of like, well, this is not really in the spirit of a PvP tank game. All I'm doing is trying to find the cap I can sit on and managing my deaths so that I had another tank to get on another cap to sit on. And I don't know, man. That you can do it the other way of just shooting and doing 10, 11,000. That's obviously a way to get to general. But the problem with that particular version is it's reliant on a lot of different things. You know, swarms of tanks getting into your backfield when you're on defense and not being able to stop them from killing three turrets so fast that you simply didn't have enough time to shoot enough rounds downrange to get your 10,000 or whatever you needed to get to general via damage. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I would love to see that if they would adjust, maybe do those two little adjustments right there. As far as, again, the light tank and wheeled tank meta, that's a bigger problem than just frontline, I think. That speaks more to the wheeled tank and the way they're mech'd in the game, and the reliance on mobility on front lines, making heavy tanks kind of worthless, more or less, except in fairly specific situations. Early, I would say, in the South recaps, heavies can have their day sometimes, just bullying their way onto the cap. But even then, with enough guns in the game, a heavy will melt trying to bull an early cap. It can happen if you have a lot of friends, but that's really about the only place heavies are worth a piss. And maybe end game in the city on the other map, or potentially hold down in one of these back areas, just trying to fend them off at the last moment. Otherwise, in the mobility game, heavies they're not worth playing. Never mind TDs. Other than a few of the fast ones. All right, guys, that's enough of that. Just my thoughts on Frontline and some of the things I thought. I will still finish it. I do want to get the AE Phase 1, so I've got about 2 prestige levels to do. Hopefully I'll do both of them in October, but if not, I'll finish up in November. All right, guys, let me know what you think down below. I do appreciate your support of the channel. If you do want to support me, there is a PayPal donation button there on my page. Go ahead and click that and support the channel. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you.